Hey there guys, today I'm going to show you how I built this super simple modular shelving unit for the shop. It's hung on the wall with French cleats and went together pretty darn easy. So let me show you how I put it together, and then at the end I will give some updates on some other shop things and the miter saw station upgrades I'm trying to work on. As is the case with a lot of my plywood projects, I started out by ripping the plywood into the width that I wanted my shelves to be. Pretty much everything's the same width, which I believe was about 10 inches. And then the pieces on the left were just the leftover strips that I'm going to use for the top and bottom back pieces. For the next step, I drilled pocket holes on the top, bottom, and all of the shelves of the unit. I also did this on the top and bottom back plates because that's how the shelves are going to be mounted to the wall. I like to let these screws protrude just a little bit. It helps you in aligning the shelves and making sure there's no movement when you're setting the screws. For the French cleats, I got about a 5-inch strip of plywood and ripped a 45-degree angle right down the center of it. I just kind of eyeballed it so that each side probably wasn't exactly the same, but as long as they're mounted the same on the wall and the backs of the shelves, I really don't think it makes a difference. Once I had the French cleats up on the wall, I then used a spacer piece and then mounted the other half of the French cleats on the backs of the cabinets, one at the top and one at the bottom. And you'll see the little piece I have on the bottom is the spacer, and I used that so that I would have the same exact spacing on all of the shelving units. Slide it out, and that's pretty much it. So I just got my shelving up, and my original plan was to have one bank of shelves right over each set of drawers just for kind of that clean uniform look. And then I was going to put something in the middle like pegboard to hold clamps, but I'm kind of looking at it and I don't think that's the best use of space. I think I was going more for looks. So I think I was just going to build one more bank of shelves, and then I'll just have one block of shelving. Okay, so I think that's a much better option. So now I'm going to tie all these together, and then I will face frame them to kind of clean up all of the open plywood edges. You might notice that there's a gap between the wall and the back of the cabinets where the French cleat system is. That normally wouldn't be a problem if I had a solid backing to these cabinets, but because I originally planned on mounting them directly to the wall, I did not anticipate that. So I'm going to go cut some sheet metal now and fill in the back portions of this. And that's what it looks like with the sheet metal on the back. I just screwed it in, but at least it will seal that off. Well, that's pretty much it. As you can see, there's not a whole lot that goes into making shelving like this. The pocket hole joinery is really easy to work with. The plywood is ripped all to the same width. I think I ripped these at 10 1/4 or 10 1/2 inches, but you could really make them however deep you want the shelves at. And then the face framing is really there just to clean it up, give it a nicer appearance. But I also do think that adding that face framing gives a little bit of strength to the shelves. And then the other nice thing, building these in small segments makes it really easy to maneuver them, so you're not having to lift an entire shelving unit up and then mount it on the wall. And then getting it all level and also mounting it is really helped by using the French cleats. So now let me go show you the miter station and talk about some other stuff. In the last video, I updated you on some changes I made to my miter saw station, most notably the addition of drawer pulls that match the pulls in the rest of the shop, the file cabinet storage down below for some relatively dust-free storage, as well as bumping the whole station out a bit so I could push the saw back and have a little more usable work surface. The next phases of this will be to add a guide fence back here, maybe one that can flip back when not in use so I can have the full work surface to work on. But with that guide fence, I also want to add a little jig or something where I can add stops for when I'm cutting lots of pieces of wood at the same length. And then in that little void area you see back there, I plan on maybe running some piping so that I can maybe do like a dust collection kind of shroud back here. Not exactly sure on that one. And then on the other side, I'll just use that portion for some long, like 4.5 foot stock storage. Well, that's it for the shelving and shop updates. I hope this was informative and maybe gave you an idea of how simple shelving can be. It's really not that hard, whether it's for a shop or a garage or even in your house. You know, maybe you don't use just a regular old pine plywood, but you use something, you know, a little bit nicer, or heck, use pine plywood and paint it and give it whatever look you want. As for the next video, I'm not quite sure yet exactly what I'll be doing, but it will probably be outside the shop and not a build related video. Probably something with the chicken coop or greenhouse, or maybe planning a rainwater harvesting project. I just want to keep the variety up and not have this be 100% just building random things. But with that said, the builds will not be out of my mind because I am still planning for my camp trailer project, and I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of a fundraiser for that by selling something that I built several years ago. It is a leather sheath with a custom knife that I had that I purchased from Chris Cody of 3V Knives. So I didn't build the knife, but I did build the leather sheath. And if you guys were ever interested in owning something that I made, I will be listing this on eBay. I'll probably put something about it on Instagram when I do. But just wanted to throw that out there. It's going to go towards rebuilding the bearings and the brakes on the used axle that I'm going to be building the camp trailer with. So anyway, if that interests you guys, check it out. Other than that, give me a thumbs up if you like this. Check me out on Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.